Hello everyone, and welcome to Sim City. This is going to be a brand new series on the channel. I'm hoping this will come out a few times a week. This is going to be what's replacing Subnautica until the issue is fixed with Subnautica. Now, anyone who knows what City Skylines is will really enjoy this game because it was made by the same company as City Skylines and in fact came first before City Skylines was released. I hope you guys enjoy and we're going to get into this. So this is the create game menu of the game. This is very important. Usually when I do this, I've played this game plenty of times before, I go into Viridian Woods. There's a lot of flat space, plenty of resources, 16 cities and 4 great works for you to make, which will make sense later, but I want to make a challenge or something different for myself during this to make this series more interesting. I haven't really picked which city or which area I'm going to go with because I thought that it would be better just for me to do this on recording so you guys can see what my thought process is for that. This is going to be a shorter series. I say shorter, but I'm likely only going to play one playthrough of the game unless I am asked of more. So for now, I'm going to set off in a smaller region where Viridian Woods has 16 cities and 4 great works that you can choose out of. Other ones, other places, they usually have a lot less than that. So I think I'm just going to go with Verdant Jungle. I'm not sure that's how you say that, but it seems like an interesting place to start up on. So we're going to name our region. We're just going to name it Verdant Jungle. I haven't really come up with a different name, so that should be okay. Okay, now we're going to have to claim a piece of land. This is also very important. We're going to want to start off somewhere that's kind of flat. That's the most ideal thing to do. This seems flat. We don't have much wind. We don't have access to different resources. We'll have plenty of access to water and rails, so it looks like this isn't the best place to go. Whereas here, it has the same water and wind as over here. It still seems to be flat. It has rail access and it has all of this. So I think out of everywhere we could go, we'll start out with, I think we're going to start off with here. Okay, and we're going to press play. I'm going to skip to the video when this is generated. And welcome to the beginning. I'm going to be completely honest, I have not played in a different region than Viridian in a long time. So this seems weird to me. It's a very beautiful area. It looks like we have 2 areas to move into the city, 2 main highway points. When we first start off, it's going to ask us to connect roads to the series, or to our city. Now most people, they start off with these dirt roads, which is what's recommended, but I'm going to start out with the medium density, which might seem like a stupid decision, but later on, what you will see, you have to manually go through these roads and upgrade them if you do place this. I'm going to pause the game really fast so nothing gets affected. So we're going to go out with these, which is just going to make our job a lot easier as we move on throughout the series. We have to do our best to make a very nice grid. It gives us these very helpful lines to show us what boundaries we have. We're going to start off with something very simple. Something very important to pay attention to is this. This is our money for the series, or what we have to start out with. Now, I am taking a big toll on it already. I'm a little bit concerned about. So for the rest of this, I'm just going to move along with our normal roads. Now, what I should have done at the beginning of our city is immediately checked out the wind map. We need to see which way the wind is blowing. So the wind is blowing this way, which means we're going to want to put our industry and such over here. Our different garbage and factories, that type of stuff. Because this over here is where we want that smoke to be blowing, away from our city. We don't want our people getting hurt or anything like that from it, and it will make us look pretty bad if we place it anywhere else. Oh, look like we have a plane heading over. It's a very nice view for anyone living in the city. It's because we have different areas to come into the city. I'm almost tempted... Ooh, too close to an existing intersection. Okay. This is a bit weird. There we go. That should work. It's gonna look ugly for now, the difference between the two things, but this will make sense later on in the game. Okay, now that we have that made out, as you can see, we have 21,000 more dollars, which is not the normal amount of money that I usually start out with. I usually have more than that because I don't spend all this money on roads. Okay, now that this has started, we have gotten a lot of approved stuff. So we're going to pause the game again, and we're going to start zoning out these different zones. So we're going to put, what I found is good for this, is placing about this much, about 80 to 90% residential, right? And then doing commercial and factories with the remaining. Now you might think this doesn't seem like enough for all these people, for anyone who's played the game, but believe it or not, this is a really good way to set this out. We might have to add another commercial zone, but we'll see how this goes. We're gonna get our power going. That's very important. We also should have checked out where our water is. This isn't the best place to plot this, but it should be okay. We're going to move this over here, so we're probably going to have all of our industry along with this windmill, because that's okay. So now we have water pumping, and next up we're going to need sewage, obviously. We'll just have that right here. We need to get down some industry, which will give freight different objects to our stores, which is needed for them to run and for people to purchase items. So we're going to get that in, and we're going to let the city run. Now at the beginning stage, I am going to skip forward just a little bit. As you can see, people are beginning to move through. If I slow this down, you can actually see them, I'm pretty sure, or not. Different moving crews or building crews begin to move in and make our little homes. Here they come. So as this happens, we're going to start having people gain jobs over here and in our little commercial zone here. Okay, we're going to see what they are telling us. Do you really think a few measly turbines are going to power your whole city? Come on, Mayor, be realistic. But wait, don't go off and build another power plant, just expand this one. It's easy. Just extend the service road and add another turbine. Ask later. Right now, the power is fine. You might say, oh yeah, well, or just a second ago, there was no power, but we were just waiting for people to come and get jobs. Here. Okay. We just got the petition to build our town hall. This is also an important placement for all of this. We are going to build ours right here just to start out with. We're going to want to make sure this thing has plenty of room to have buildings placed around this. And we have the ability to name our city. I'm not going to name it right now. If anyone has any suggestions in the comments, let me know, and we will rename our city in the next episode. These little icons down here give little messages from our people to see what they want. Little icons. Mayor, the next year, Brian, apologies for the bit of a cringy name. This is an old Steven, or Orange account I have. I'm really enjoying life here in Osprey. We have a vibrant, diverse city here. One thing that I wish we had was a place to get in touch with our spiritual side, like a temple, church, must be, I'm not sure how to say that, or modern temple. If you help us out, I'm sure the powers that be will look kindly on us. We are going to do that. If you go here into city specializations, it's down here in climate culture. We're gonna go to worship, and we're gonna get one of these things down. I'm just gonna build a house of worship. It's free to purchase, and it's no cost to us, and it makes our Sims, that's what these guys are called down here, a lot happier. The people who live in our town. So now that that's down, he's going to give us $1,000 if we can get 80 low wealth Sims and 80 in total come to this place, and in one day have 80 low wealth Sims come into the house of worship. And all in one day, which might seem a little bit far-fetched while we're smaller, since we only have 354 people in our town right now, but that's going to be like nothing in the future. Cut here. And cut. Okay, we're gonna want to start moving forward with everything. As you can see, we were moving forward in money at a steady rate. We were making $276 an hour. Now, just a little cheeky thing for anyone who's playing. You can press up on these taxes and get it to 10%, which gives you a few extra hundred more, and none of your Sims will complain at the beginning. It doesn't affect them. So, anyone who plays that game, be sure to mark that off. Education will become really important, and it's going to be a big issue coming up. Having a higher education will benefit us with less fires, less crimes, all of that, less medical bills, not bills, less people getting injured, well, less people being stupid. And at the beginning, having one of these grade schools down isn't the best thing to do because it costs $16,000, that's more than double of what we have right now, and it takes down 400 sim credits per hour. So right now we're benefiting at 390 per hour. That's just too much. But if you get the public library, which we can't afford yet, it only takes off 100 per hour, and when you have a small growing community, it's plenty to educate. We're gonna skip forward in our progress here, just to gain some extra money. We're gonna see how things go. Okay, now that we are gaining more money, it's probably best to speed things up a bit by increasing our population a little bit more. Now, this can lead, if you make your city too big too fast, it's going to lead to a lot of issues, and in some cases complete bankruptcy of your town, which really sucks to get out of. It takes a long time, so try not to do that. We have all of these setting up. Oh, and it looks like it started to rain. As these houses go up, our taxes are going to come in more fluently. We're going to be earning a lot more money. So before, we were making $390 an hour, and now that we've just added those couple more homes, we have $500, and we're getting a little notification here. Unemployment crisis, that isn't good. So what we're going to do is we don't need many stores still. So I'm just going to make a little zone here, which we're going to get rid of later when we have the opportunity to, and we're going to make a little industrial zone here. That should get rid of all of that and give the proper employment. We're still working up to that public library. I'm going to fast forward the video to when something happens or we get to that public library, because that's a big thing. There we go, we have made it to 10,000. We're going to slow down our city for a second. We're going to build a public library. Now, as you can see, this green zone stretching across, this is where people will be affected. Now if we put this here, people over here can still access it, but these people over here are going to get impacted by it the most. If you have this all the way over here, though, without proper transportation, these people will not be able to get to it. You're going to want it to be somewhat close to your population if you do set something like this up. We're just going to put it right here for now. We can always relocate this later, but this is going to get people educated while we get things going. We're going to start moving on with our city soon here. We're going to fast forward again until we can work forward on our roads. Once again, we're going to go with these medium density, which is very expensive right now, but it's going to let us get what we need in homes. We probably should have just now expanded this way, which is what we're going to do actually. Oh, what's going on there? Not enough money. Dang it. That's okay. We'll just continue to expand right here instead. Now that we are getting more areas down though, we're going to actually want to get proper places set up, more proper shops, these big block zones like this, instead of these little outlying markets, because these will just get in our way. We're going to take down the old stores, because we're great people. It's 10 out of 10. Once we get enough money to build these roads and such, we will get that up. Actually, we're going to get this area ready as well with more industrial, because we're going to need that as soon as we hit it. That can load, there you go. Okay, we're going to want to expand this out. This game can be a bit glitchy sometimes. Any outlying roads, by the way, by the end of this all will be cleared up. Don't worry too much on that. Okay, so we can connect these. We still don't have enough money. We should be able to get that any second now since we're on high speed. Here we go. Let's get this all set up. We need just a little bit more. In the meanwhile, or in the meantime, I should say, we can get more industrial coming in. That will give us a little bit of a boost once these guys get set in. It's still not enough money. How much does this cost? Just a little bit more, one more in-game hour, which should be just about now. We'll be able to afford this. There we go. We're stretching it with our money, but that's okay, because after we get this boost in, everything should be a ton better. I'm gonna take this down, and it's gonna suck to take down these buildings. And I'm sorry to anyone who owns these. It's gonna make all of this a lot better. Looks like we had a notification from another person back here. Power. I'm gonna blow my fuse. We have plenty of power. Plenty. What does everyone say? I love my new house. What a long day, home sweet home. Now you are going to want to pay attention to what people are saying and complaining about. Sometimes they'll glitch out and say some pretty stupid stuff, but as of right now, we are all good. If you look at our zones, our commercial demand is heading down, and people, high wealth sims, are going to want to start moving in. Now, we're not exactly too ready for that, but I'll move into it anyways. So these parks, if you get these higher tier parks in, it's going to have this value come up, or this big green circle. And whoever's in that, it's going to increase the land value of that area. Now, I don't want to increase the wrong area, or too much, because then we won't have the right stores and population going up. As in, if I were to put this right here, and got too many of these people going, we wouldn't have these store or too many people upgrading to medium wealth houses. This area here, they wouldn't be selling the right stuff, and these guys would start complaining that they don't have the right stuff to buy, if that makes any sense. So we're going to place this. Actually, it might be a smarter choice to place parks over here. No, we'll make this the higher wealth. As you can see over here, the blue area that's already here, if I can get it to pop back up, It's already improved in this area, but it's not all the way approved to the point where they're upgrading. So I may as well just put it back here. I don't want to interfere with any space next to this. Dang, having a hard time talking today. Okay, we're gonna get this park down. And as you can see, that blue circle just popped up, and it's going to increase the land value. That was a really poorly placed park. I don't know why I placed it there. We already have a public tennis court, so we're going to place something else. Volleyball court, why not? Nah, we'll just have it on the sides here. These will be our little parking areas, or park areas. Okay, attractive new homes for sale in the city. See your local real estate agent. As you can see, people are upgrading their homes over here. We're having these medium wealth people come in, and we're going to start earning more money than we were before. Looks like we have an issue. We are having injured Sims. Now, what this means is we're moving into a more hazardous area of the game where all of this is going to matter a lot more. Getting waste disposal up right now would be good, but right now we need to worry on health, or a clinic the very most, because people are about to get sick fast. Now, I am going to take out a bond to get this. People who haven't played this game might think, well, this is a really stupid idea, why not just save up? In a second, I just got the bond. In a second, people are going to start complaining like crazy. If you've played this game before, you know once you have one issue, one person that has a disaster, all of a sudden, everything around the area is just going to start exploding. Oh shoot, I should have put the clinic down here, because now these are going to start being higher value homes. That's okay though. So now we are losing money, which is okay, because these things are upgrading. While homes are upgrading, you're not getting that hourly budget. By putting that down, we have solved the health issue, but we have lost 400 an hour, which is an issue. We're going to start stabilizing though. This is also going to improve with this. Once this bond goes away. Right now, we're paying, how much? Hold on. If I can get this to go through, I'll look at this in a second once the transactions are going. Right now, we're paying a little bit of this off every day, which, that's all okay, but we want to get this off as soon as possible so we're benefiting from what we've placed here. We're going to place down the waste disposal right now as well, which, once again, they might not be complaining about it now, but anyone who's played this game themselves before will know soon after this point, people are going to start complaining about these specific things. I think I'm going to move this back here. I don't want to interfere with this because I'm going to want to expand power from this. We are going to place a garbage disposal, garbage dump right here. Now the wind instead is pushing this way, so any nasty stuff going on is going to push away from our city. It won't get any of our Sims sick or anything like that. You want to pay attention to that. Thankfully this game is an older game, so the wind doesn't adjust, so I don't have to worry too much about the pollution. Okay, now that we have that up, we have people working at the garbage dump. They're going to go around and pick up garbage from these people, and I'm quite sure that this has plenty of space. Yet, we can also add on these things here, which are garbage incinerators, which we can get, but we really don't need to right now. It's not something we need to be worried about until this says it's filled up, and by the time this fills up, we need to get one of those things down. It's not going to matter too much because we're going to have enough money to buy it. We're going to want to start increasing our population again to speed up everything. It takes a long time for people to start being concerned about stuff. That's a lot of money. As you can see, I have to upgrade these manually, but you might say, oh yeah, well these are super long. Any intersections like this, any small roads, I have to go through all of these. which once again might not seem like a lot, but once you have roads everywhere, you have very complex, smaller roads, different bus stops and stuff, it takes a very long time to upgrade your roads. So it's better just to get these mediums down so you don't have to upgrade them later. Well, you'll have to upgrade them later, but it makes it a lot easier throughout the beginning of the game. So right now, I would say that we have enough space if we were to move this up. We're going to move all this up, and that should be enough space right here to put everything we need. We can always move these roads if we really need to, but I think we should be okay. We're going to move this out and start getting people moved in around. Not enough money. Shoot. That's okay. We'll place some homes over there. Okay, we're also going to want to look at our demands here as we get these homes in, because it's going to show what we need in our city, looking at these demands. Pause or skip. As you can see, our commercial demand is going up as we have more people moving in, which makes sense. It's not too bad yet. You're not going to want to completely satisfy that. You're going to want some demand that's healthy in this game. If you have too much, you're going to have an employment crisis where jobs, they don't have anyone working at them. And that's really one of the worst positions to get stuck at, especially later on in the game. So it really matters planning all this type of stuff out now so you don't have to worry about that later on. Because if you have a whole city that's pretty much maxed out, there's not much you can do to solve that. But, you know, it's okay. Now, as we move forward, we're not having many problems. The game gets more complex as you go. But as we move forward, we're going to want to tap into this railway. This is going to allow tourists to come to us. We can have an airport down, which I'm not sure if I'm going to plan to do that with the city. That's going to be later. Now, to be honest, what we're going to want to do with the city is we're going to want to specialize it in something. So, over here, you can see that there are different city specializations. Mining, drilling, trading, electronics, culture, different cultural things, so tourism, and gambling are the main things that you can do with your city. And for this, we're just having a general city. We can get our specialization out there soon, but as of now, we don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, we are going to get more homing in to get those taxes flowing, to get more of what we need. We're also going to add another store over here, since we're kind of cutting it close when it comes to demands. We're going to start having issues if we keep this up. If you can see these little green lines here, that shows the traffic in an area. Since we have these really, really nice roads here compared to what people usually have, we don't have traffic jams, any issues with traffic whatsoever. Everyone goes fluently, there's nothing. Whereas you get on these two-lane streets and it's one lanes, and things get a bit more complicated and you get some jams. Which, believe it or not, is a huge issue, or can be a huge issue later on in the game. But as of now, we don't have to worry about that once again. There we go. Now we have hit $0, believe it or not. That I've never actually done that, get that perfect amount of money in there. We're gonna move into that shopping area, and we're going to start expanding this back. We have plenty of space. We're not going to want to move this any closer. We're going to start wanting to move back here for all of that. For all of the shopping and homing areas. We're going to move this down and in. We're going to get more industrial. Now, you might not think that much is going on now, but that's because we've satisfied this part of the game, the clinic. If you play without putting this thing down, right now it will be so hazardous with everyone, it's ridiculous. And now we have the petition to build a coal mine. Now, out here, it seems like we have a lot of coal to tap into? Well, not too much, but oil, and ore seem to be big things in the city, or that we can tap into. That's not really what I'm planning to do. What I want to do is make this electronics, which might not seem like the best thing to do, but I want to make this electronics and education based. Once you're done with this city, there's all of this untapped land on the city map. If I go back out, there's all these other areas which you can get into. This is one big map that you play through. And this city will affect all of these. So if I do education here, I have a lot more I can do over in these areas. In technology, these will benefit all these other areas, including especially these great works, which I'll explain later on. Not too important right now. There are also, for those who want to do a specific route of the game, there's this thing called Guide Me, which actually I might go with. Basically, these people will push you in the right direction when it comes to what you want to place down. I'm okay for now. Once I get a little bit bigger, though, I'm going to definitely want to put that down so I get down the right route. I'm not sure if you can do that with electronics. Yes, you can, actually. It's very interesting. Okay. Now that we are benefiting again, or not benefiting again, now that we are really moving up there in money, we can add even more to our city. Right now I'm trying to get as much as I can money-wise, because coming up here, we're going to start having fire and police issues, which those are very expensive parts of the game. Fire's minus 400 an hour, and it costs 20,000, so it's time to start saving for that. It's good to have that up and ready. Our intelligence is okay, or our education system is doing okay. As you can see, this is our education level. We want it to be up here by the end of this, and our tech level is over here. Having a higher education will move us up here, or up with the technology level, which will upgrade all this, make it a lot safer, and it'll unlock a lot with different regions. As you can see, we are really going up there with the money. We're making 700 an hour, which might not seem like a lot, but if we keep moving up at this pace, we should be sitting pretty comfortably for at least a little bit. What am I doing for these? Are these... Yes, they are medium density. As you can see, our clinic is working away. We have one patient in. We seem to be doing really well with this type of stuff. And here we go. We're having fire issues. Yep, here we go. Here it starts. We are going to have enough money to ignore this for now. I think I can I bulldoze this? Nope, can't bulldoze a building that's on fire. This is going to spread, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. This is where fire is going to get out of hand. I'm not going to take out another bond, because a bond here would really, really hurt. It's going to suck to pay off. It's okay to let some of these buildings burn. We'll just get rid of the rubble and rebuild from there. But for now, we should be okay. As you can see, we are definitely still benefiting even with this on fire. I'm not sure if the rain actually helps put out the fire. That'd be a really, really cool detail. I doubt it. Oh, and looky here, we have something going on. Oh. Save my property, build a fire station right now. I'll do it. I'll do my best, but I can't do it right now. As you can see, the challenge is extinguish 5 fires. It's just showing what's gonna happen. This is a great little thing. Okay, during the game you'll get these little pop-ups from your Sims. We want to throw a giant block party all night. The day after, it's going to give you 25,000 money if you get this down. We may toss out a bit more garbage during the party, but you don't mind, do you? So this challenge, I'm not going to spoil it, but we're going to need quite a few garbage trucks. I'll do it. Now, usually they ask you a bit later in, so you'll see what happens here. Okay, now that we have our money moving forward, we're going to be steadily approaching our mark of 20,000. When we destroy these buildings, by the way, the zoning is still here. That means that more houses are going to pop up here, and overall it's going to be great. Now this is what happens with this garbage. It puts garbage, it fills everyone's garbage up in the neighborhood. Now this is okay because we don't have a lot. But I've gotten this before when I had a maxed out city, and it was a serious problem. It took me 2 hours in like real time to get this all sorted out. It's not that great, but while I'm small, we can deal with this, and we're gonna get $25,000 from it. We are gonna be able to pay off our bond, get a firehouse up, and improve our garbage as well. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if we really need it yet. It's better not to if you don't have to. Oh, and it looks like we are getting some upgrades. Hey, look, we've got our first apartments coming up. So, as people get happier in our city, these buildings will start to upgrade. This includes these industrial zones over here. The reason that we need to upgrade these roads is if these roads aren't big enough, these won't be able to upgrade. So since we did this right now, we wouldn't have to be upgrading these roads for them to move on. And when they upgrade, we get all of this. And look at that. We got that 25,000, it looks like. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is plop down a fire station, and I think we're going to put it down right... Well, it looks like we have a park there. We'll just put it down over here with our other things. So that will be a great cover. Plop a fire station, and they will be working hard. Now we can pay off our bond over here, and we are going to be really, really getting into green when it comes to money. While this is upgrading, our money is going to plummet down a little bit. It's going to fluctuate as everyone starts to upgrade, which is going to happen very soon. But, as you can see, if you look at our money here, as this building finishes up with its construction, we are going to be very, very wealthy when it comes in. Oh, and it's going well. We're making 630 an hour, and that's with the fire station. It's less than we were making before, but that's with the extra services we have. Yep, and now we don't have any bonds. Before we were losing 173 an hour, but now we are completely just benefiting without anything really affecting us. That's going to do it for today's episode. I know it was a little bit scattered around, a little bit rushed. I don't have too long to make this, and I was really, really eager, believe it or not, to get into this. This is an amazing game. It's kind of a boring start, but trust me, if you guys sit and watch this, it gets really fun, really complex, and really entertaining to play and watch. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more videos by me, press the screen now, subscribe to PewDiePie, unsub from T-Series. Anyways, see ya.